You think sim racing is about going faster? It's not. What sim racing is about is surviving all the little traps that are along the way. And trust me, there is many traps along the way. Because nobody tells you when you buy your first wheel, your first pedal set, your first shifter, your first cockpit, first monitor, anything like that. Especially when you sit down and say, I'm going to take this seriously. What it really tests is your ego, your bank balance, your identity, and if you're not careful, you'll fall into these traps that pull you slowly away from your very first idea of actually getting into it and hold you there for a long time. And I don't know, I fell into quite a few of these traps. So today I thought I'd just outline some of the traps that are along the way of sim racing. So you, if you're new to sim racing or a bit of a seasoned vet, watch out for them, get around them and get out of them, and just listen to a bit of knowledge from a guy who's been there and done a bit. Trap number 1, the money spiral. Sim racing looks affordable at first. You start with a basic wheel, then you realize these pedals aren't load cell. Then you realize you need a rig, then triples, then VR, then a better PC, then motion. And suddenly this cheap hobby costs more than a used rally car. Here's the dangerous part. Every upgrade feels like it will make you faster. But the uncomfortable truth, skill scales slower than spending. You can absolutely throw thousands at gear and still overdrive every corner, and the trap isn't buying nice gear. The trap is believing gear is the shortcut. Because the moment you believe the equipment is a solution, you stop improving the fundamentals. Trap number 2, comparison mode. This one is brutal. You post a clean run, you're proud. I've done this many times myself. Then you see someone else absolutely send it through the same stage, half a second quicker, a few seconds quicker, hell, even 5-10 seconds quicker. Now you're not proud anymore, you're behind. Sim racing makes comparison way too easy, boys. Leaderboard and time trial hunting it's almost a sickness. I was one of those time trial fiends, and yeah, the leaderboards, YouTube videos, clips, streams, there's always someone faster. And if you're not careful, you stop enjoying rally and start chasing validation. The irony? The fastest drivers aren't obsessing over comparison. They're obsessed with consistency. Comparison kills consistency. Trap number 3, upgrade addiction. This is slightly different from the money spiral. This one is the mindset of, if I just change one more setting, you tweak force feedback for hours. You swap brake curves, you change setting position, you adjust sensitivity again, and again. You spend more time optimizing than driving. It feels productive, feels technical, but sometimes it's just avoidance. Avoidance of seat time, avoidance of learning, control, avoidance of just accepting that speed comes from repetition. Optimization matters, yeah, but obsession becomes paralysis. And if you're not careful, you'll spend more time wrecking what could be a good setup or a good tune for your gear, and just keep going back to basics and learning from square one. I did this many times, and what it taught me was to just adapt to the setting, get the most out of the setting I could, and then just change small little incremental things that I could easily flip back. Really helped me. Trap number 4, overdriving. This is the biggest one in rally. You want to be fast, so you push. Harder braking, more control, later turn in. You feel fast, but your times don't improve. In fact, they're slower. Because rally doesn't reward aggression, it rewards flow. Overdriving is sneaky. Oh, it is very sneaky. I did this quite a lot. But let me remind you that smoother is faster. Because if you overdrive, it feels like effort, it feels like commitment, but it's usually ego. Drivers who look insane on screen, they're actually smoother than you think. Control first, speed second, not the other way around. It takes a long time to even be able to throw a car into a corner wildly, catch it and make it look smooth. Whereas Joe Blow down the street, he'll see that and go, whoa, that is hectic. But a seasoned rally guy can see what's actually happening and go, man, that guy knows that car really, really well, really well. He has put some freaking time into that. Holy damn. Trap number 5 is Burnout. Nobody talks about this one. You start loving it. You're playing every day, grinding, staging. Just grinding every stage that you can even think of. Anything that looks cool, anything that feels fast. You know, you're posting clips every day. Then suddenly, you don't feel like loading in. You're forcing sessions for content. You're chasing views instead of enjoying the drive. Burnout in sim racing isn't dramatic, it's subtle, it creeps in. It's when you forget why you started. And if you don't recognize it early, well, you'll convince yourself the hobby changed, when really, your relationship changed with it. This one really, really does hit home with me, because for the longest time, like I said before, I was one of those just a time trial fiend, man. I was chasing the top 10s, the top 5s. Hell, I even have a few world records. I don't know if they're still present, but I did have them from a time and a time. And what I've realized, honestly, in the last 6 months, say, is I've slowed down quite a bit. I don't chase for a tenth of a second here and there anymore. I have fun with it. And you know what? Sometimes by having fun, you might have a big crash and have a massive recovery. But I can tell you what, that crash and that recovery that you did pull off and keep going is a lot sweeter at the end of it than just getting a fast time, because you can look back and go, whoa, mate, that was some wild shit. Just relax a bit, have fun with it. Fast times will come and go, but just remember why you start the journey. Trap number 6 is identity trap. This one is deep. You start calling yourself a sim racer. Then you start trying your value to, well, your performance. You're just trying to tie your identity to your performance results on every stage. You might be, or trying to be, that guy who's always in the top 5. You know, that recognizable name. Bad run, you feel off. Good run, you feel validated. Now the hobby isn't just fun, it's your identity. That's dangerous in rally, in any sim racing, in any car racing game. Because performance fluctuates, as we all know, confidence fluctuates, but your worth shouldn't. Keep rally something you do, not something you are. Just always remember that, hey, you got in this to have some fun, and just try and think back to when you first got your wheel and you just loved it. That first run and you're like, whoa man, this is crazy, this is so cool. Like, just come back to the memory that you hold dearest. I know it sounds so cheesy, but this is something that's really kept me in check over the last few months, and I guess my content reflects that, because my views are up, people are enjoying me more, I'm having fun, and I'm loving the passion again for it. It's right up there again. The bigger picture. Sim racing is incredible. It teaches control, focus, discipline, mechanical sympathy if you do rallies and don't do time trials. But the traps are real. And the people who break through, they aren't just fast. They're aware. Aware of the money spiral, aware of comparison, aware of ego, aware of burnout. That awareness is what keeps you in the game long enough to actually improve. You know, I'm a master of hitting that reset, the combination of the buttons, but you know what? Even then, when you can do that without even thinking about it, you still get tired. The love, it goes. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're upgrading constantly, if you're comparing too much, if you're overdriving every stage, you're not broken, you're just in one of those traps. The good news, you can step out of it. And when you do, that's when you actually start getting fast. So that's been my hidden traps of sim racing. I know there's a whole swag full of more I could go down, honestly, but I think those are the more relevant ones, the more ones you can really just sort of touch base with a bit and relate to a bit more. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have a Logitech, you know, the very base version, what is it, the G29, whatever, you know, perfectly fine. Whereas it doesn't matter if you have like the massive extravagant freaking SimiCube. It doesn't matter. The whole in between, it doesn't matter. Everyone is in a different spot, different positions in racing, and that's the beauty of it. You know, a guy who has the most basic setup can still be right up there with the freaking world leaderboard times. You know, Gran Turismo, for example, some of the fastest guys are on G29s. Hell, some of the fastest guys are on controller. You don't even need a sim rig to get into it at all. That's the beauty of the whole sim racing and just racing car stuff in general. It is such a varied platform with so many people who are just involved and just love it, you know. You don't need to get tied down and bogged down to just obsessing over the dollars and cents of it all. You know, what you should really do, and you guys will probably hear me say it a million times over since you've known me, coming videos, my whole motto is smiles per miles. And that should be the main thing that you focus on anytime you get into sim racing or whatever you want to do. Just keep yourself grounded. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down below what you thought was the most interesting point, what you think is a good thing that I might have missed to say that might help other people as well. And as always, have a good night, a good day, or a good afternoon, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.